Right, I'm going to give you the exact blueprint of how we've helped Simon, a father of two, with a really demanding schedule, rebuild muscle, drop body fat, and get back into peak shape. And I'm going to make sure not to gatekeep anything. You can literally take this structure of what we did and understand how we put this transformation together for him. The unfortunate thing is most people will listen to this and do nothing with it. Not because the blueprint doesn't work, just because the execution has to be behind it, as we all know. So let's get into it. So Simon Diamond. Now, I know what you're thinking. This guy's already in fantastic shape. Is this his after photo? It's not. This is him before. Now, he's a qualified personal trainer, has been doing it for decades. In, again, amazing shape. This was nothing to do with him going through the physical transformation necessarily. It was more the mentality behind it. His lifestyle had gone through a change, and which I'll go into in a second. And he just wanted to have some more structure in his life again. He wanted to prioritize health and fitness a lot more again. Because his standard was high for himself, he wanted to be risen to a higher standard, which he had let himself down on a little bit. So this is in a very short period of time, he managed to regain his muscle mass. There was a slight bit of muscle memory there, but also we managed to gain and actually get into his best shape that he's been in and get to a point where he prioritized health and fitness again. So let me walk you through his transformation and the story behind it, because I think it's really inspirational. Now, before he started, and before he actually joined Level 1, now as our head coach, he was a personal trainer, a decade of education, and one of the most qualified professionals you'll ever meet. Here's a list of his accolades and qualifications he's achieved throughout time, and he's featured in multiple fitness articles, helped hundreds and hundreds throughout the years, and he's quite well known in the fitness space. Now, his life absolutely changed with his second child, Jack. Now, his time shrank. All of a sudden, his mental space absolutely narrowed. His family responsibilities multiplied. And, all of a sudden, he's got to look after a whole family. And he just didn't have the capacity to execute and the time that he used to have where he could be on the gym floor all day long training clients. He couldn't afford to do that anymore. So what he wanted when he joined Level 1 was to drop his body fat level just slightly, get back his structure again, his love for fitness again, and follow a structure which had to be different because of his excess responsibilities. Now, this is our Level 1 coaching method, and this is what we took him through and what we actually implemented with him. So, as I said, the biggest thing was time and time efficiency. And with Level 1, we're absolutely obsessed with time efficiency. We want to get the most bang for our buck and absolutely squeeze every ounce of muscle and fat loss that we can within a short time period, because all of our clients don't have tons of time to train every day or multiple times a week and hours. They want something that's going to work in a short period of time. So what we did is first was phase 1, and that's rhythm and fitness foundation. And for him, obviously, it wasn't necessarily a knowledge gap. It was more just the implementation behind it. So we built him a routine to get him moving consistently again, improving his base fitness and dropping that initial layer of body fat, which was troubling him. And most importantly, allowed him to optimize his limited time again. Now, phase 2 was all about strength, muscle, and visual shape. Now, once his rhythm had returned, it was more about building muscle mass and getting back his strength and some visible density around his chest and the shoulders that you saw. And especially his abs was something that he was always a bit of a weakness for him. So he managed to rebuild the physique that he had been missing over the last couple of years. And then phase 3 was all about lifestyle, energy, and daily performance. So he wanted to operate at a higher level. It wasn't just about getting back to where he was. It was about, at his age, which he was in his 30s, he wanted to operate at a higher level and be held to a higher standard. So we increased his and made sure that he had better energy, better performance, better metabolic health. And we built a structure around his diet, nutrition, and lifestyle choices without taking up huge sums of time, made sure that he could get results for the long term. So what actually changed? He didn't just get leaner and stronger, which is the obvious from the pictures. He, most importantly, fell back in love with training. And this is a really big point that I want to mention, because sticking to a plan, there's always going to be friction towards you and the plan. However, if we get to a point where you genuinely enjoy training again and we've changed the man, then the man will change the body. If we just focus on the body, there's always going to be friction towards you and the plan. And it's only something that's only going to last so long. So we built structure and accountability back into his life, and we understood his lifestyle, and we made some changes to his lifestyle. And again, the results speak for themselves. So now I'm really proud to say that Simon's turned into our head coach. He's worked his way up extremely quickly, and he specializes in fat loss, muscle development, strength training, corrective work, and lifestyle optimization for all of our clients. Now, he is extremely data driven, which is one of the massive benefits to him, and relationship focused. He reviews our health metrics, sleep, heart rate, performance trends, and nutrition patterns. And he really adapts each program to each client's body type, lifestyle, and coaching needs, and loves coaching. That's one of I like to hire people who just love coaching, and that came through. The massive benefit to him is he's been through our process. He understands how we work, and it's benefited him. And that's why he wanted to join the team. And now he's responsible for a large portion of our client transformation. So all the transformations that we post and all of the hundreds of guys that we worked with, a lot of that's his hard work. And he's been a massive help and a gem to the team, not just because of his qualifications and accolades before, but he understands the process more than anybody. And that way he just executes, and his day-to-day is to get our clients results. So if you would like transformations, like a transformation like this yourself, we do take on around 4 people a week. So if you want to inquire and find out a little bit more about how this may work for you, then just message me, Simon, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, or any other platform that you're watching this on. We can have a conversation, map out your goals, and we can kind of have a consultation call and see whether it's the right fit for you at this moment.